People who say, dress how you want to be addressed. Are you possibly justifying assault, crime done to certain individuals, or even lack of respect just because people don't look well dressed in your eyes? Yeah, I'm gonna let that one simmer for a bit.
Nope. That's right.
What's up, y'all? What's good? What's sizzling? It's your favorite straight creative Cholet signing in for another video. Welcome back. How y'all doing? What's up, my people, my supporters, my posse? What's good? How y'all been doing? Honestly, I just want to thank each and every one of y'all. There are some new and upcoming things coming on this channel, on my platform, so please be sure to check out my social media platforms because I'm going to be doing lives, giveaways, you know, just having fun this summer. So you're gonna miss all of that if you do not check my social media platforms, so be sure to plug in. And thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you're new to my channel, hi, hello, hola, my name is Cholet, and this is my creative entertainment channel where I post social, cultural, and movie commentary. Now let's jump into this video. Well, today we're going to be discussing respectability politics, not only in our society, but in many parts of the world. We're going to go into its origin, examples that we see, and what it really boils down to in our lives. Respectability politics is basically a school of thought that utilizes respectability narratives as a foundation to reinforce social, political, or legal change. And respectability narratives are essentially representation of marginalized individuals meant to depict them as sharing in fairly similar traits, values, and moral outlooks that line up with the dominating group's definition of respectability. The term politics of respectability was coined out by Evelyn Brooks Higginbotham in her 1993 book, Righteousness Discontent, the Women's Movement in the Black Baptist Church, 1880 to 1920. She goes into detail in the book on how the concept of respectability narratives by Black Baptist women to, I quote, counter the images of the Black Americans as lazy, shiftless, stupid, and moral in popular culture, and pleads for both societal acceptance and equal legal protection. Professor Angela Banks opens up the discussion in the book Respectability and the Quest to Citizenship that the idea of respectability politics has been used in various areas such as immigration law. She points out in her research in the reversal of the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act through the avenue of respectability that described Chinese immigrants as sharing a belief in the experience with democracy, having a strong work ethic, having high moral standards, Chinese or believing in a higher power, a commitment to the rule of law, self-sufficiency, and individualism. And this helped the US in the political sense when it came to allyship between the Chinese around the Second World War, which later led to the repeal of the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1943. Fast forwarding to the 21st century, where we see people in the places of power and opportunity dictating what is acceptable to look like in society, how to look like an upstanding citizen, and to the amount of respect you get just by looking a certain way. Yeah, scary. Now, due to the most recent discussions brought up in society, the idea of respectability politics has been examined more than ever. The initial discussion that I saw this come up in was dress how you want to be addressed. And this came from a viral video of 3 Black individuals discussing on this matter. Stay with me, there's a reason why I brought that up. Stay with me.
Dress how you want to be addressed.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Perfect.
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because you're supposed to be you're supposed to be addressed with respect regardless. Period.
Oh,
so even if you,
no, it's not. Nobody said.
But you saying so just because somebody dress how you want to be addressed. We talked about this on the phone. Mm-hmm. So if a lady is on Instagram and she got all naked pictures, right? Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to address her sexually because she got all naked pictures?
Wholeheartedly.
No.
Nigga, what the fuck else?
All I'm saying is,
so
okay,
so let me ask you this. If you go to a realtor's page and you see all houses, you gonna ask that nigga, do you sell cars? Exactly. You're not, bro. There's no way.
Honestly, anyone who's in agreement with this so-called philosophy is getting a side eye from me. especially if you're Black, because we all know when it comes to the discussion of Black people and the police, there's always this underlining tone of justification whenever they're pulled over, harassed, or even deleted off of the face of the earth, just based on the fact that they don't look respectable, they're not wearing the right clothing. Or whenever it comes to women being assaulted, it's always, oh, what was she wearing? Was she wearing a short dress? She was probably asking for it. Wow. Wow. Like, we've seen way too many times where people are fully dressed and they would still get harassed. They would still get touched and something would still end up happening to them. So constantly saying this narrative over and over is not going to change that. Shortly after, the discussion on bonnets arose when two famous rappers were discussing their opinions on the matter. Initially, it was under the scope of wearing it to the airport, and then it became an everywhere kind of thing. And then all hell broke loose when all kinds of think pieces, ideologies, statements started coming out, and people were not happy. And all of a sudden, this narrative started to come up that wearing bonnets look unprofessional, you shouldn't be wearing it outdoors, it makes you look ghetto, it makes you look ratchet. And it's just really funny to me how when it was the discussion of do-rags, y'all didn't have the same energy. Oh wait, because we normalized it. We made it seem as though it was part of the culture. But bonnets, because Black women usually wear it the most, it's now ghetto. It's now ratchet. And the fact that head wraps and scarves were put on a higher pedestal than bonnets, excuse me, scarves and head wraps are boneless bonnets. Yeah? Okay. And so are do-rags. Funny enough.
This whole bonnet and dress how you want to be addressed discourse revealed to me that you guys are deep in the trenches of respectability politics. Because the conversation always goes, well, bonnets are meant for the house and meant for sleep. So are many things like pajamas, but people wear them out when they have quick things to do. Nobody says anything, but it makes us look ghetto. To who? And that's it. The to who. And same with the dress how you want to be addressed. You guys really believe that if a person dresses in a way that you don't think is acceptable, you are allowed to treat them as less than human. Why? What did that person do to you other than wear clothes? And y'all come on extra hard to Black women specifically. On this app and in real life. Someone's braids will be a little grown out and y'all will rip her to shreds. Someone will do their own wig and it doesn't look like Arrogant Tay and y'all will rip them to shreds. They'll wear a bonnet out in public and you'll rip them to shreds. We are always supposed to be presentable when everybody else is allowed to have messy buns and loose baggy clothing. But when we do it, why is it ghetto? And why does that make us less deserving of respect?
And if you haven't already noticed, whenever Black women do things that are not socially acceptable yet, it's deemed as ratchet and ghetto. And that's the main reason why we still don't get respect in society. Until a palm-colored fellow goes ahead to appropriate it, make money off of it, and make jokes about it, but then go ahead and make it trendy, that's when it's socially acceptable. That's when it's okay. That's when everybody goes ahead to jump on the train. But when we were doing it before, y'all didn't have the same energy though. Okay. I just find it really interesting. And this whole talk of like head wraps and everything, wasn't it a law back in the day for Black women to wrap their hair in the States? Like, do we need to wait for the Kardashians to come up in a kente cloth bonnet and make it cool and chic and add it to one of their catalogs of their shops or whatever and make a whole ton of money on it before we find it socially acceptable? We had Monique come out of nowhere to discuss her opinion on the matter.
So, when I say, hey, queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to. Because a lot of us are still in queen training. So if you're in queen training, stop being fearful of taking your position. And queens don't walk around with bonnets and headscarves and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you, baby. Like you are worthy and you deserve the title of Hey Queen. Nikki love y'all for real. And I ain't never gonna BS you. Stop wearing them damn bonnets and head scarves looking like don't nobody give a damn about you, nor do you give a damn about yourself. Cause you beautiful. So represent it.
Hey y'all, it is Sholay, editing Sholay, coming in with some opinions that I forgot to put in the actual video when I was filming. Now, in terms of what Monique said, I don't inherently disagree with what she was saying, but I guess in the way she was delivering it and the way she looked, it's really easy to like judge her and say all sorts of stuff about her. But I do agree, if you are that kind of person who does care about what you look like all the time and you feel as though you need to look upright and clean and kept, I totally understand why you might not agree with people wearing bonnets outside. However, just because someone wears bonnets outside does not mean that you should disrespect them, give them some kind of scrutiny just because you don't agree with what they're wearing. I'm not for that. Me personally, I do not wear bonnets outside because personally, I don't even wear them inside. I'm a scarves kind of person. I don't wear bonnets to sleep. I wear scarves to sleep. It gives me a more sleek look and my hair doesn't come out puffy in the morning because naturally the heat and everything makes my hair curl up, and I'm a 4C hair natural. So all of that comes into consideration on what I wear at night. So even though I wear scarves at home, I wear them out and I dress it up. I make them look cute however I see fit. Black women, as much as I love y'all so much, we also need to look within ourselves, because when it came to the whole Derek Jackson situation, y'all were so quick to say something about his wife and how she had a bonnet and how she looked unkept and everything. But in this argument now, you want to start fighting with everybody who has something to say with this. I don't agree with disrespecting anyone regardless of what they wear. We need to be respectful to one another, and once we respect one another, other people can respect us as well. We can't just be bashing one another all over Twitter and then think that when it comes to these kind of issues that it's so easy to just skate by them. It doesn't make any sense. Regardless of how I have my hair, people are going to still have an issue with it. If I have my hair outside of the bonnet and it's not looking as kept as people are expecting it to, it's now a problem. But then when I go ahead and put it in a protective style like wigs and weaves, all of a sudden I'm subscribing to the European beauty standards. But then if I have it in a bonnet because I don't want to take care of it in that one moment, I'm deemed as ghetto and ratchet. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Like, people are still gonna have an issue regardless. If you're gonna wear a bonnet, okay? Wear it. Wear it. Because I don't see black women just wearing bonnets for no reason. It's usually to go from point A to point B. To either get something at the beauty supply store, do a whole bunch of errands around town, or they're gonna go get their hair done. I don't just see people just wearing bonnets for no reason. Worldwide, you can honestly see that respectability politics is stemmed in anti-blackness. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen in some African nations where you would see people in locks, faux locks, natural hairstyles, or just their natural hair out in general, being told that they're not dressing up to par. They're not allowed back in school. They're being fired from jobs. They're getting in trouble with the police because it's not acceptable to look that way. That also brings me to the whole SARS situation. I was gonna bring this home a little bit because we tend to look at things from a westernized point of view, but we don't realize its effects in different parts of the world. And for me, SARS, it's kind of leaning in this ideology if you think about it, because the older generation has always preached dress how you want to be addressed. Like, this is an African thing, no cap, where if you don't dress a certain way, then everything given to you is totally fine. The disrespect, the harassment, it doesn't matter. Until it got to a point where young Nigerians were looking respectable. They had their nice cars, their clothes, their locks, and they were being stalked, and their lives were being wasted at the hands of the police. How interesting that the same ideology is literally wasting the lives of your children. And it was very interesting to me when you try to compare SARS and the police force in the States. Their justification for going ahead to do the things that they do to black individuals was based on the fact that, oh, they don't look respectable, they should dress better. But it really just stemmed from racism. It stemmed from them having prejudice against those individuals. But the racism is not really existent in places like Nigeria. It's really stemming from poverty. It's stemming from their inadequacies. It's stemming from corruption. Because those people who are going ahead to do the things they're doing are paid below minimum wage. They're not treated with respect. They're not giving the right tools in order to do the things they need to do for their job. And thus them acting out the way they do. I can't really get mad at them, but get mad at the government that allows for these things to happen. I said a mouthful before I get censored. I've seen in both cases that people have always tried to play devil's advocate. Yeah, it's unjust on what they did, but that person should have been dressing better. Oh, it's bad what they did, but you shouldn't have been rolling around in your car like that. You shouldn't have locks in your hair. Stop trying to justify wrong things. The devil doesn't need an advocate. He can advocate for himself very well if you haven't seen from the Bible. But anyways, it's really annoying to me. Like, stop justifying wrong things. Stop trying to make it seem as though you can boil down the respect you have for someone based on the way that they look. So how do you treat poor people then, How do you treat people who are homeless? I'm trying to understand where the way someone looks now means that's how you're going to treat them. Why are you trying to justify bad behavior? Why are you trying to justify your inability to make proper, respectful decisions towards other people? Because it's not a reflection of who those people are, but a reflection of who you perceive them to be. Better yet, in how you are perceiving them, it shows me who you are as a person. We honestly need to get to a point in society where we're not policing one another based on the decisions that we make on our own personal lives. And I know that's such a blanket statement, but it's honestly true. When you get to a point where you do not care what other people are doing because you're so busy in your life, you wouldn't have these kind of discussions. Because it starts to get into this classist thinking. It literally does. If you start to dig deeper and deeper into the issue, and we shouldn't be getting like that. We shouldn't. Because there's other individuals in our society who don't have the chance to look the way that they want to. Or they look the way they want to and they're still treated with disrespect. So what's the point? What is the actual point? Don't police women on what they do with their bodies, how they choose to dress their bodies. Stop judging black women for doing whatever they want to do. Why are you in our business? First of all, that's the real question. I'm really all up in your business today. Let me stop. We shouldn't go ahead and dictate what people should look like in our society because everyone's an individual. You cannot think that for a second that everybody's going to look the same just because it's a so-called standard. It's not going to work. At the end of the day, I want everyone to be able to live a life where they're respectful to themselves, but also one another. And in order for that to happen, it needs to start with you. In order for it to have a ripple effect, you need to do the work first. Not everybody else, but you. Alright y'all, thank you so much if you've gotten to the end of my video. And be sure to answer this question. What is one word that you love saying just for no reason? Me? Embarrassment. Very embarrassing. I'm sorry, it's because of Nella Rose. I blame her, but that word is so funny to me. Let me know what you think down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to share to all your friends on what we're doing on this channel. Alright y'all, it is your favorite frustrated creative, Sholay, signing out of this video. And remember, God made you special and He loves you very much. And you can do anything you set your mind to, with Christ of course. Alright y'all, peace.
You know what I'm talking about? Bring it back.